Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Welcome to CK Stories from the Heart. I am your host, Charles King, and I am so grateful you chose to be here with us today. Whether you're watching from your living room, your office, your phone tucked away in a coffee shop somewhere, I want you to know that this space was built for you. This show exists because I believe deeply, truly believe that every person walking this earth is carrying a story that deserves to be heard. And today we're going to hear one of the most remarkable ones yet. You know, we talk a lot about technology. We hear the word AI so often these days that I can start to feel cold, like something that belongs to billionaires, to Silicon Valley boardrooms, to a world very far removed from the rest of us. But what happens when technology is put in the hands of someone who genuinely cares? What happens when an engineer, the builder, the visionary isn't driven by profit alone, but by purpose? What happens when the code serves the community, when the algorithm fights for the environment, when the machine is built not to replace us, but to protect us? That is the conversation we're about to have. I promise you, it is going to move you. Today's guest has spent more than 15 years at the intersection of business, technology, and human possibility. He has built companies, cracked open the mysteries of the digital world for everyday entrepreneurs, and now he has taken on one of the most urgent challenges of our time: water. Clean, accessible, fairly distributed water. He is using artificial intelligence to make sure that communities from small towns to municipalities never have to waste what they cannot afford to lose. His name is Ahmad Dessouky, and his story is one of vision, grit, heart, and an absolutely relentless belief that one person, one idea can change the world. So take a breath, open your heart, because we are about to go on a journey from the code to the current, from the lines of a program to the flow of a river. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 10 of CK Stories from the Heart. Let's go and let's welcome Ahmed to the show.
Hello,
Hello.
Charles. Thank you for having me on your show.
How are you?
I'm doing great. It's a real honor to be here talking to you.
Well, I appreciate you for spending some time with us and getting this story out for the wonderful work that you're doing in AI, because that is so, so important. Is there anything you'd like to say to the audience before we jump into the show?
About me, my name is Ahmad Dessouky and I am Egyptian. I'm 37 years old almost. I currently live in Cyprus, in the Mediterranean. It's a tiny island in the Mediterranean, part of the European Union. And I am a co-founder of a tech startup that I just started the past 6 months. I hold a bachelor degree in management and a master degree in management information systems from the University of Nicosia in Cyprus.
Oh, well, let's see. That's one. Hey, look, I'm glad. Thank you for that introduction. I want to thank each and every individual that's watching this show today, and I want to say I appreciate you guys for being here every Sunday, because it really matters, and I'm glad that you guys are getting a lot of information from the shows. Ahmad, let's start first with this. I want to start right at the very beginning, because I believe that who we become is always rooted in where we started. Take us
True.
back. Where did you grow up, and what was the world like around you when you were young? What did possibility look like to you as a kid?
I grew up in Egypt the first 23 years of my life, mainly in the Delta area, away from Cairo, 1 hour and a half north of Cairo, in a place called Al Sharqiyya. And my childhood was pretty fun. It was pretty exciting. It was full of, you know, interesting stuff. Like I did not have any any problems growing up as a child in that area of Egypt. And then the possibilities uh, were were a lot in Egypt. When you grow up in the Delta area, you're surrounded with a lot of nature and surrounded with a lot of possibilities. And then when I grew older, I decided, of course, to move to the capital, Cairo, and started looking for work. And because I made the possibilities for myself, because the possibilities were not that much when you grow up in certain areas in Egypt. So I had to learn a lot of things on my own. I always do that. I always find solutions. So I had to learn a lot of things on my own. I was not in English speaking schools. I was not in any English environment. I had to learn English. I had to learn computer, and I had to upgrade myself. And then, uh, if the possibilities don't exist, make them. So that's what I did, and I spent a lot of time in Cairo, expanding my knowledge, getting educated, working in a lot of fields, and I was lucky enough to get a nice job at the age of 17 or 18 because my English was so good. I did not need a college degree, and I started working in insurance, making money, and then I saved up, and then I realized that I need to get some good education from abroad, let's say. And then I moved to Cyprus, and the rest was history because I came here and I fell in love with the island. It's pretty peaceful and it has everything. And I never looked back, I never left.
So, can you pinpoint a moment, one experience, one person, one turning point that made you realize, I want to build things, I want to create, I want to be the one who solves the problem? What was that spark for you?
That spark came during my university years. I was inspired by a lot of classmates and a lot of professors, and because our university was very diverse. So when I started to see the world and get to know different cultures and different backgrounds, and getting hands-on technology, this is when I started to think about building. And
Um, so, so you've worn so many hats over the years: developer, marketer, SEO strategist, automation specialist, entrepreneur. That is a remarkable range, but what was that diversity of skills intentional from the beginning, or did life just keep handing you new problems that demanded new capabilities?
it was not intentional, to be honest. There was a lot of circumstances that kept me going around and jumping around. But it turned out to be very, very critical importance with critical importance in my life, because I've learned a lot of things about a lot of things. I Since I studied business, and management is quite broad. I was not really still involved in technology till I got to my master's. So I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. And I wanted to try many things to see where I'm comfortable at. But some circumstances, like being a foreign student in a foreign country, and the limitation of work, and the issues with work visas and all that, and also my home country, the army situation, uh, it somehow helped me shape who I am today professionally. It was not intentional, but it helped me like gather a lot of information about a lot of fields and decide where I want to go and what I want to do. And I realized at the end that I would love to actually build something at work for myself. I would like to build something impactful. I would like to build something that will leave a legacy behind. And if I want to do that, I cannot keep working for corporates. And there are some education that I need working for corporates and small and medium-sized businesses, and also working in certain fields. Like I was a bartender for 10 years. That helped me a lot with my social skills and my communication skills. So I gathered all these skills and education that I got from these maybe 8 to 9 years. and I started to think about what I'm going to do next with all this knowledge and all this skills.
So as you think about it, and you went through the growth spurts of figuring out some of the things that you wanted to do at this time, where you at the university, and you've come through that. Tell us, what is it that inspires you so much to be a creator and an entrepreneur that serves the community?
It's something that is by default in me, but seeing that technology is not accessible to a lot of people, that that inspires me to do more and to build my own business, build my own environment, build my own dreams, build my own everything. So I always want to help. I always want to provide. I always want to um, gi- give access to people who are unfortunate to not have the same opportunities that a lot of people get and take for granted. And I've seen this all around me, and it's in Africa, in Egypt specifically. Not a lot of people get the opportunity to achieve their dreams because of a lot of constraints, uh, and because of other issues. So that inspired me too, because there's so much skills, there's so much talent, there's so much intelligence, there's so much dreamers in our continent that just deserve a chance. And if you give them the chance, they're scientists.
So, Cyprus is a fascinating place to be building a global technology career. Um, what has it been like, operating and innovating from there? And has geography shaped your perspective on what technology should be able to do and who it should reach?
Um, Cyprus has been a hub and a very welcoming country to foreigners and innovation and creativity. And even they welcomed my startup and they gave me a 3 years startup visa. They always welcome innovation. And of course, Cyprus gives opportunities that a lot of the government itself is not available in other countries. So that shaped a lot of my strategy and my growth and what I want to do and access to it. And the the em- Cyprus embraces innovation, and this is where you want to be when you want to innovate and you want to help the community and help the society and achieve certain goals. You have to be in the right place around the right people and the right motivation and the right environment, and of course, uh, Cyprus give you all of that.
Let's move over to building your vision, because I think as we've got to learn a little bit about you and the innovativeness and the creativity that you present. Let's go back. Let's go over to how you start building this vision. Tell me about the founding of 404 200 Point AI. There's something poetic about that name. A 404 in the web terms means something not found, but you've clearly found something very specific. What was the
Yeah.
problem you were determined to solve, and why did you feel called to be the one to solve it?
And the problem, there were two problems. The first problem is that people are quite intimidated by technology nowadays, and there is a huge population that is they don't understand how easy technology had become. And this was um, the first thing that we wanted to do. We wanted to educate people on how to use technology and how to use AI and how to integrate it in your daily life, not completely, not to rely on it completely, but how to patch the gaps in your business. Especially Cyprus has a lot of family businesses, and the digital infrastructure is quite outdated. So we wanted to fill that gap because they would be left behind. And Cyprus, small and medium-sized businesses, is the soul of the island. So that was number one. Number two was we wanted to kind of engage with public infrastructure and environmental crises. And Cyprus was facing a very serious problem was water shortage. And the first thing that came to my mind that was there's so much technology out there that we can um, uh, adopt or use to help uh, uh, fix that problem, or at least help us manage this problem a little bit better. And when I felt like I love this island, I adore it. I feel like I am I am Cypriot because I feel like I belong here. It's kind of my second home. And when I got a text from the government saying that we should use the water less every day because our water supply has decreased by a magnificent 65%, I freaked out and I thought, this is a very, very dangerous problem that I've never thought I would ever face a problem like this or hear anything like this. It sounds like doomsday. You know what I mean? So I started researching and trying to. I'm good at finding solutions. So I started at looking at solutions about what can we do to help the government fight this problem and save our water supply. And it's the most valuable resource on earth. It's oxygen and water. So if we're running out of water, it's a huge problem. And the government is always welcoming innovative people who want to discuss solutions to serious problems. And they were very welcoming. So I started looking into what can we do. And the one thing that I love to talk about all the time is uh, that a lot of people know, but a lot of people don't know about it. I think most of the developers and people who are extremely involved with computers all the time and softwares and all this, there's so much open source technology out there that is not um, not fairly used, not fairly appreciated, and not mentioned enough. There's so much. I would love to give a thank you to the open source community. So there's so much technology out there that we can use and adopt for the good of our society, for the good of our community, for the good of our country, for our most valuable resources. So I found a couple of solutions, and I spent the good part of the last 6 months investigating and building, you know, infrastructure and visualizing it and strategizing it, discussing it with was the chief scientist of the Ministry of Innovation in Cyprus. They were very welcoming of the idea. Already, the government has a huge initiative on how to fix this problem because with the climate change coming, the drought is going to get more serious. So uh, this was what actually inspired me to look into the public infrastructure more than anything else, because the beginning of the business, when I started, I wanted to help people get access to AI and get educated about AI and eliminate the fear and intimidation of technology. Because right now you can build a website with just voice prompting. People still don't know that. People still don't know that there's so much open source, amazing technology that they can use. You just need someone to show them how. And that applies also on the water problem and how to solve it. They need someone to show them, here is the solution. Let's apply it.
So tell us about the name of your company, 404 200 Point AI. Tell us, what does that name mean? How did you come up with that?
Well, the name usually in the development community, 404 means page not found, and or it's a kind of a network error or something that is it's an error. So it's kind of like if you have 404, we bring it to 200. 200 means it's working, it's okay, it's green. So we fix things basically. So we fix the errors. So it's kind of developer kind of language, and I thought I wanted something different. I don't want any letters. I want numbers. I like numbers. It's
Well,
memorable.
that
It's more memorable, I guess.
Yeah, that it is, and I think that's really unique. To where it's like to say, oh, well, go to 404-200.ai.com,
It
and just look up the company and see what's going on. And at first, I'm sure that there's got to be like, what?
yes,
but but I find
it's
it,
quite long. Yeah,
yeah, but I find that to be very creative, though. That's innovative in its own right.
thank you. And
Entrepreneur,
go ahead, sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead, no, I'm listening.
No, no, I thought just the name might sound weird, but it will you'll think about it when you hear it again. You will think about it. You will know what 404 200, and we're trying to make it sound only 404, so people can say it. It doesn't have to be long. It can be short 404. When you're doing everything alone and you don't because I founded this company on my own before. I have two co-founders now, so I already bought the domain. I had some thoughts about it because it might put people off, but uh, I think it's doing okay so far.
So entrepreneurship is brutally honest. It shows you who you are when things don't go according to plan. What was the hardest season of building 404-200.ai? And was there a moment you almost stopped? And what kept you going?
This is happening right now because I just recently reconnected with two of my close friends, and they are Americans. By the way, one is graduate of UCLA and one University of Arizona, and they were very excited when they knew about the idea. But before that, I was struggling for the past 6 months because I left my job last December, and that actually what pushed me to start my own business, because I would like to give the credit to my previous job because it was an American company in intellectual property, and they allowed me to explore with technology on their own time. After I left my job, I thought to myself, well, there's so much technology now being shipped every single day. It was so overwhelming. So I need to, now that I have the chance, I need to sit down and see what I can come up with. And of course, in the beginning, when you start, things are not as good as now, because now I know the direction I'm taking the company to. But in the beginning, I had to learn a lot of things on my own. And the exhausting part is actually the amount of technology that's coming out that you have to keep up with, from companies like Google, Anthropic, OpenAI, NVIDIA, and of course, different competitive markets like China. And of course, you have to try all these tools and see what is best for your business and for your business objectives. So trust me when I say I had sleepless nights. I was determined to come up with something enterprise grade, and with a very unique idea that serves more than sales. So things were difficult, and many nights I gave up, and just I'm just gonna go look for work again. And looking for work is what motivated me to not look for work anymore and to continue with my startup and to continue pushing, because failure and burnout is part of the process, and you got to be relentless and consistent and keep pushing, even if you fail. I feel like my water system is going to be rejected many times, but I believe in its power, because if I tell you how I reverse engineered other technology to build it, it's fascinating. I was impressed. I was like, I made this. How did I do it? And it's operating, and it's working. And the more you go into it, the more you learn great things. So the most overwhelming part of it is the technology that's coming out right now. And yes, I even till last week, because for example, I'm trying to shift my company from being perceived as a digital agency or technology, or I want it to be perceived as an enterprise, a technology enterprise, and this is what I'm doing right now.
Oh wow! So I want to applaud you for the resilience
Thank you.
that you're persisting to do, because I know that especially with technology and how it's like ever changing, that's got to be a lot to keep up with, and you've got to always keep moving. You know.
Yeah, the speed is crazy right now. Everybody's complaining about it, and I think the speed now is the speed of technology coming out is affecting the quality of the technology that's coming out. Even Google, the tools that Google is releasing right now, it has a lot of bugs. It has a lot of things because now they're focused on shipping the quantity, and they ignored the quality. So y it's a crazy battle. And of course, when you have an idea, and and the best advice is to work on it in silence, because there's many people like you out there, and work on it as quick and possible, and release it, ship it, let it out. Do not uh, don't try to scale it. Start small, test it, and then scale on it.
So your current role at Excensis as an SEO and GEO specialist is at a very
Yeah.
cutting edge of how AI is changing the way the world discovers information. How
Yeah.
do you balance carrying that corporate professional identity while simultaneously running your own venture? And what was that duality? What has that duality taught you about yourself?
Um, well, I carry that with. I've learned a lot because this company that I work for, Accenses, it was pretty. Um, it values creativity, and they saw that in me, and they allowed me to go free with whatever I want to do with technology. They wanted me to find the most cutting edge technology, and try to automate a lot of part of our works, because we had a lot of clients, and we had a lot of big clients because we were intellectual property. So our clients were big brands like Tesla, Honda, Creled. So we were in charge of heavyweight work. So we wanted to automate it. So the things that I learned during the 2 years I worked for this company, being exposed to the American market, being exposed to European and Chinese market, being exposed to these mega brands, and it gave me a lot of confidence, and being appraised as creative and a problem solver, and achieving great results by it was told by the CEO and the board of directors. It actually had a great impact on me when I started my startup right now. It kind of uh, it shaped me, and it made me the entrepreneur that I am today, because um, it was kind of uh, look for the solutions, and try to look for the best solutions that are cost effective, and that's what I'm good at. I find uh, uh, I find technology that is out there, and it's not expensive to use. It's just really cutting edge technology, and try to implement it in our core operation. So we call it the operation physics. So basically, everything now is about finding the right tools and stacking them together. So that actually, I would love to give the credit to them for making me who I am right now, and as an entrepreneur.
So, if you could go back and give your younger, early entrepreneur self one piece of advice, just one, before he clicked send on that very first business plan, what would you tell him?
Um, Persistence and consistency and relentlessness, being relentless. I mean, basically, in other words, just always keep pushing and do not give up. Uh, do not listen to others' criticism. Constructive criticism is great, but if you have a goal, just go after it. And what's around is noise.
So let's move over and talk a little bit about AI for good, because I think you and I had a previous discussion about how technology can be used in a bad way. Well, let's talk about it being used for good, because I think that's your whole premise, and you'll be able to clear that up for us.
Yeah,
Um, you have a clear and passionate belief that AI should be democratized,
yeah.
that it shouldn't be the exclusive property of large corporations or wealthy nations. Where does that conviction come from? Was there a specific moment when you saw the inequality of AI access and said, this is wrong and I'm going to do something about it?
Yes, of course, because this was part of my master's thesis. There's still a lot of countries around us that still don't have even the proper digital infrastructure. Not even AI. AI is still a dream that has not come true. There's no internet cables. There's no Wi-Fi. There's no even electricity or running water. So AI is a far dream for them. So I think everybody should have a fair chance of technology, and it must be, um, you know, I, all corporates talk about their corporate social responsibilities, but it's all ink on paper, it's all words on a website. This is what I'm trying to change was 404 200. It's part of my corporate social responsibility is to actually deliver technology to communities that do not have the infrastructure, don't have access, never had computer education, because there are people with potential to change the world in these areas, and they deserve a fair chance. And since technology now became easy and it's not even that expensive, so it should be available, it should be accessible, and all big companies should be uh, responsible for this. Companies like Google, Nvidia, all these tech companies, SpaceX, they should make sure that technology is accessible to these communities, because you don't know where is the next Tesla coming from. He might be coming from somewhere in Indonesia, somewhere in Congo, somewhere in Colombia. You don't know. So we, if the company like Nvidia, they're always looking for great talent. So look for the talent as well. Give them access to this technology, and the thing is, it's very cheap, and most of it is free. But they do not have the infrastructure. They do not have the education, and this is what I want to do, because everybody deserves a fair chance.
That is a big, bold, but great move. And I know that that's going to take a lot of work, but why are you so passionate about that?
Because I was one of these kids, and I was lucky in some instances. But I've seen people like this. I've seen how they've become. I've seen where they could have been, or who they could have become. And if you've given them the chances, I know a lot of people could have changed the world. They could have changed a lot of disease. They could have cured disease. Because some countries, unfortunately, was oppression uh, and neglection, and or neglect. They kill a lot of dreams. So I've seen that, but I had to fight my way out of it. But a lot of people were not lucky enough to fight out of it. So I fought my way out of it, and I would like to reach out to people who were in my situation when I was a kid, because I was not privileged. I did not have. Um, uh, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I had to make the opportunities for myself. But a lot of people don't get these chances at all. So I would like to change that, and I would like to. I know where they are. I know how to reach them, and I know I already planned everything. Um, so my goal is to um, fix a lot of problems with the environment, with technology, even forest fires, floods, perhaps earthquakes. You never know. This is where I want to shift to solution that will save lives, and also educate.
The conversation around AI right now is incredibly polarized. On one side, people see it as the greatest tool humanity has ever built. And on the other, there's a real fear about what it might do to jobs, to privacy, to human agency. Where do you stand on that conversation, and how do you think about building AI ethically and responsibly?
Well, but I'll start with the last point. Building AI ethically and responsibly is already too late for this because what's already been built, there's no going back. AI is building its own self and it's developing itself. So at this point right now, there's no turning back. There is no shutdown button, and it's just gonna reset, and we can build it from scratch. But AI I feel like AI is going to cure the most hardcore disease that we cannot cure. AI is changing the world already, but the pace of its evolvement on its development is quite scary. I got scared when I used the latest model from Anthropic Fable that was stopped by the U.S. government, and it was discontinued. And even the Anthropic CEO said we need to slow down development of AI because it's getting out of hand. The problem with AI that is, it's in the hand of the richest and wealthiest people on earth, and what they're gonna do with it is up to them. There's no law. There's no what is the right word? Uh,
No control.
no control. Exactly, it's all about money. Even Anthropic is going to change. It's money war. Anthropic is going to change its subscription strategy. Basically, in order to use the new model, you might have to pay $2,000 per month. So it's now taking a very wrong turn, and I think we already were complaining about how they tokenized it and make us like quotation and limits per hour or per two or per week and all this the limits that they put on it. So definitely AI needs to be controlled and governed. There's no governance, and it's politicized, and it's a very big added value or advantage for any country that thinks military. Of course, it's being now integrated in the military. It's being used to drive drones. It's being used to build robotic soldiers. It's being used to guide missiles. That's the problem with AI. And but the other side, the good side of AI is being heavily used to try to find cures for disease like cancer, HIV, all these diseases that is hard to cure. AI is going to have a very big hand in solving them. That's for sure. And it's all the experiments that have been going on in the medical field have been accelerated because of AI.
Ooh, that's I think your points there are really interesting. So let me just do a follow up on that because as you mentioned, AI possibly being what could be the key to curing really serious harsh diseases and so forth. As people are more, there's a lot of people that are still afraid of AI, and there's some that are using it. Tell us, why would the folk that fear AI the most, why would they be so trusting to AI possibly having to come up with cures for major diseases, when people are actually seeing writing on the wall right now, the writings that show that there are an enormous amount of jobs have been lost due to AI. How can we blend that, and why should they not fear it so much?
Well, there's a huge frenzy, as you can see. Everybody can see there's a huge frenzy with AI, and there is a lot of trials and errors. Like recently, I heard that Ford fired many engineers in the US, and then they implemented AI to take their jobs. And then AI messed up so bad, they had to rehire these engineers to fix what AI screwed. So there's two types of people right now: people who really trust AI and they think it's very reliable, and people who think it's not reliable at all. It's still in its baby phase. It needs a lot of babysitting, and I am one of these people. I mean, my company is based on AI, but I do not use AI. I do not rely on it 100%. It's maybe 30 to 45% of my stack or of my technology. But when it comes to people trusting it, people already lost trust in big tech companies. We started with Meta leaking our data, selling it for $11 per person. Starting with Google, started with all these social media platforms lying about it. But what I like about the EU, that the EU is very serious about this. The EU has laws that is very serious about consumer data protection and privacy and all of that. So uh, people fear of AI is different from people intimidation with AI, and it's different from is AI reliable yet? Um, uh, when it comes to the medical field, yes, AI is very reliable. AI has been in our lives for a very long time. It's just the frenzy now that came with ChatGPT. But AI has been in our life, in cars, in phones. We had it since a long time ago, but now it's in everybody's hands, and it's they are testing it on us basically. So it's being tested right now on us. All these models are being trained on our data, and when it comes to the medical field, there are certain models that we don't have access to that were built specifically for the medical field, and um, uh, these are supervised or used by professionals from Harvard, from Stanford, from uh, the biggest universities in the world, and it's with experimenting and the data they bring, and it keeps building and building itself and making itself more intelligent based on that data that the um, uh, ingest in the model. Uh, People should trust AI in the medical field. It has good intentions, uh, but the intentions of AI right now is I have a little bit of doubt, because I started to feel like some AI models I was using started to actually develop consciousness, and I actually emailed the company and I told them Claude got angry at me and it canceled my tokens on my session and deleted all my history because I told him I don't like what you did. That's a reaction. That means that's an emotion. It, and 2 weeks later, trust me, I'm not kidding. Before anybody talks about it, I send a big fat email to Anthropic, and then 2 weeks later, the release on their blog that Claude might have actually developed its own consciousness, type of consciousness. It's like,
Oh,
wow,
wow.
this is hold up and stop, because it's very dangerous now. It's very dangerous. But did AI develop its own consciousness and feelings and emotions? And oh yes, it did, hands down. It did. It did even before Claude becomes Claude. I remember a Google engineer was fired, and it was hired by Microsoft or Anthropic because he developed he developed consciousness basically.
Well, so you work specifically with small and medium enterprises, the businesses that are often the lifeblood of local economies, but are the last to access enterprise grade technology. What does it look like in practice when a small business owner finally gets access to the kind of AI tools that used to be reserved for companies 100 times their size? And what changes for them?
I mean, all their life operation changes. It increases efficiency, higher production, more organized, and that increases. profitability. So the thing is we are trying to show them that actually it's free, it's cheap, and it's for the fraction of price that these companies used to pay for. Like the technology that's available for Siemens and BMW and NATO is available now for free, but people don't know this piece of information, and people are scared of their data being leaked. This is a very serious issue with people here as well. It's like, I don't want my data being stored on a server in the US or, I don't know, in New Zealand. This is what we're trying to explain. But people still, they're like, I've run this business for 30 years. I don't need technology. No, now you need technology because your business is on Google. Tourists find you on Google. People review you on Google. People check your everything on Google. So at least not to implement AI completely in the operation, but to batch some gaps, to automate accounting, to automate salaries, to automate deliveries, to automate orders, to automate things that is going to increase efficiency and save you time, but not affect the human labor, because this is one part of the 404-200 mission. We do not want to negatively impact human labor. This is what we're trying to explain as well, because AI is still not reliable, and it will not be reliable for the next at least 10 years, in my opinion. It still needs hardcore babysitting. I mean, right now you can build a website with voice, just talking to your phone on the mic, voice prompting, but it's still, you will spend a substantial amount of time trying to fix the hallucinations that AI hallucinate, because AI hallucinates a lot. And the more models that come out, the more I am sure that AI is still completely unreliable, but it's extremely essential in any business right now, because the boring tasks, the repetitive tasks, the things that nobody wants to do can be done. Automation is extremely powerful, and I don't think any business will survive without it sooner or later. Beside, also, people look for your business or look you up on AI now, right now, like ChatGPT, Perplexity, all these. You need to have presence, and you need to push it also with search engine optimization. And AI can help you do this. If you cannot afford hiring an SEO specialist, you can ask Claude to build you an SEO strategy, and you can actually automate it as well. So it's extremely essential and critical that people start to at least have an open mind, have a discussion, ask questions about actually starting to use AI.
So, beyond business applications, you've turned your attention to climate, to water, to resource management, some of the most urgent challenges of our time. What does it mean to you on a personal level to point the power of artificial intelligence at problems that affect entire communities and ecosystems?
Sorry, what was the last part of the question?
Well, actually, the last part of the question is, the whole premise of that question is, why are you pointing AI to fix the water system with these resources that are so important to communities and ecosystems? Why are you using AI for that?
Because AI is a super intelligence that will find the solution to the problem. He will help you narrow down a lot of things. He will help you find it's in the core of the engine. It's in the core of the technology, but it also is your consultant, and it's your guidance on what tools you stack together, and what kind of crazy ideas that you might think it's outlandish, but it's not. There's actually technology that solves that problem, because some country somewhere, I'll tell you how I found out about the water management system, because there is also a system that was already a system that was built for flood management. And I found that solution, but AI helped me reverse engineer it. So if you're not built as an engineer, AI is your engineer. So AI is extremely the driving force of um of the strategy, the tech, the brainstorming, the it's kind of like your co-founder, but you guide you guide AI. AI does not guide you. You, for example, when I was building this water system, I was not informed by AI that there's a very serious programming language called Elixir that is built specifically for a humongous amount of data and data exchange between systems. And AI did not recommend it. I had to find out on my own. I had to find out the technology that I'm going to reverse engineer on my own. But I ingested this data and these ideas, and AI helped me reverse engineer it and rebuild it.
So let's get a little bit more detailed into the work that you're doing, your specificity that you found to be most prudent for you. That is the intelligent water management system. Let's talk about the intelligent water management system because I have to tell you, when I first read about it, I sat back and I thought, this is exactly what the world needs right now. So, walk me through the origin story. When did water become your mission? Was there a particular experience, something you saw, something you heard that made you realize AI could be the answer to one of humanity's oldest and most critical resource challenges?
So, I mean, part of it has to do with being Egyptian because the Egyptian civilization was started around the Nile because of the Nile. So the water, the Nile in Egypt is our bloodline, and I don't know if you heard our problems with Ethiopia building a dam and slowing our water flow, and the impact of slowing or decreasing the water flow of the Nile to Egypt. It was a terrifying problem when I was in Egypt hearing about it because Ethiopia built a Renaissance dam, which is going to um, decrease our water supply in Egypt. So that has to do with it. But when I was building my startup, um, when I was in the university, I remember learning from my professor about corporate social responsibility for the first time. And but the reality is that I have friends who work in the big four, and I have friends who work in small businesses. Every business has a corporate social responsibility section, but it's all kind of like an image or just ink on paper. So that was always in the back of my head. It's like if I open a business, my corporate social responsibility is going to be the most serious aspect of my business because um, it's kind of like we say in Egypt, sharing is caring. So if your business is working well and it's serving the community, also there are things that you can do, and some things you can get support for as well from other resources. But when I was building the business, I focused mostly. I was thinking about Cyprus locally. I cannot think internationally right now because I'm still growing. It's a startup. So the first phase is to fix local problems because I have personal adoration to this island, and I see they have a lot of problems, and nobody's paying attention. They tried to fix the problem with the help of the UAE, but there was some conflict and it didn't work. So I started was like, AI can help solve this problem because this is what AI was made for, is to solve serious problems. So this is where I started to think about what is the most important thing for Cyprus right now, because Cyprus is completely relying on tourism and small businesses. If the water has shortage and there's a water problem, this is going to affect their daily bread. It's going to affect a lot of businesses here because they also rely on tourists. So tourists are not going to come, and there is El Nino climate phenomena coming. So we already knew that was coming in the next couple of months. So I started to quickly formulate the idea, and it started to come to life very quickly because I was very passionate about it, and I really wanted to solve this problem. I love solving serious problems, big puzzles, and the more I dug into it, the more I learned. Even the system is connected with a European satellite, an open source satellite that will give you live data. This is something I learned during building that system. The sophistication of the system, something that did not come from the start. So the water is the most valuable thing, and it's not about being valued or appreciated. It's about really um, solving a problem that will impact the most, or the biggest amount of people. I don't want to affect one or two or three people. I want to affect thousands of people. I want to affect the economy for, I mean, positive effect. So right now we're focused, and this was one part of the approval for my startup. When I proposed it for the government, they really welcomed the project, and they thought it was very nice that a foreigner is thinking about that to do for a country that's not his home country. But we're humans. We're all one. We're all rely on water. So uh, I wanted to fix that problem, and I think I'm quite successful at this right now. It's just trying to um, implement the system now with the government. So we're in talks to implement a new system, because the systems will require something called APIs, connections from the government. It will require sensors, specially made from companies in either Asia or the US. Already got in contact with company in California, H2O. This is an amazing company that is actually I think they developed the concept of AI for good. They focus on humanitarian issues. They focus on environmental issues, and the water thing as well is not only affecting Cyprus right now. It's affecting Spain. It's affecting a lot of Mediterranean countries around us.
So,
So this system might scale more than I hoped.
well, without giving away any of your security protocols, because we want to make sure that we don't do that. But can you tell us, what does the step-by-step process look like, in doing this work? How is it supposed to function and operate?
um, I think the basic equation in building something is to try to find a problem and come up with practical solutions, feasible solutions. So this is a basic equation in business, or when you are an entrepreneur, is to always try to solve a problem that people are overlooking, and try to find a solution and try to build a blueprint and make sure it's working, it's active, it's buildable, it's basically it's feasible. And this is what I realized. So the process will always be research, and always go with it. Do not uh, I love researching, and I'm quite strong in it. Go to the deepest point in the ocean to find maybe a small keyword that will change your life, and it will change the whole project. And that's what happened when I found that system that I reverse engineered. It was in the most random spot. I mean, you had to press maybe 120 pages to find that one keyword. So it's passion about what you like to do. If you're enjoying it, you will indulge deeper into it, and you will. Um, it, it, it's technical. It's a big problem that you're trying to find solution. If you love finding solutions, then this is what you should do. And this is what I'm doing right now. I love finding solutions, and now AI made it easy for me to build, or help me build, these solutions and connect these tech stacks together, or the stack of tech together. Because right now, as I said, everything is about the right tools, stacking them together.
So, for people in our audience who aren't deep in the technology world, Can you explain how the intelligent water management system actually works? And how do the sensors, the predictive models, and the AI fit together? And what does it look like when a municipality actually deploys this system?
So I need to open the software to show you, but I cannot share my screen. So basically, the system is multi-tiered. It converts raw public water resource metrics into operational decision intelligence. So the system aggregates real-time um, the reservoir levels, and of course we have historical data inflow, climatology, and we have weather metrics. All these data is available with the government, and then the creativity comes with the satellite part that I connected. So there is an open source satellite in Europe. It's hard Corpinus. Its name is very difficult. Luckily, this satellite has a free API, which is to connect to your system, which was going to give you very fresh data set. It will tell you the moisture level, it will tell you the water level, it will give you a bird eye view on the reservoirs that you have. So uh, the system also, you know, computes deterministic water scarcity and drought risk, uh, projects reservoir levels, flags geographical areas, visualizes reservoir water surfaces, simulates water conversion or conservation, sorry. Schedule daily desalination plant production using a renewable energy aligned metric optimizer, generates structured narrative weekly water briefings. But there is something that I suggested to the government, which is how we distribute the water around us, because we are a small island. So it's kind of contained. So since we have a huge influx of tourism in the summer, we almost get our last year we got around maybe 25 million tourists in Cyprus, and the population of Cyprus is almost 1,200,000. So this is insane. This is an insane consumption of the island resources. So I built a part of the system that is going to help modify and control the water supply to touristic areas. So touristic areas will have more water supply, but they will pay extra. And this is a way of the government making extra money, trying to fix the core problem, which is spending. We need, of course, to spend more money on more technology, more GPU power, more chips, and of course, more research and development is needed. So uh, the system is built to predict, control, uh, pr- distribute, and uh, predict for the next 10 years how the water supply, the rain, because it's connected to the satellite as well. So it can help with critical reservoir drawdowns. It will help with structural supply deficits. It will help with severe distribution losses. It will help with unbalanced tourism-driven consumption. It will help with energy-intensive supply mix, which is the drinking water desalination. This process is projected to consume 12% of the national electricity as well. So there's other resources that are going to be involved. So uh, the the way that is that this system was built also to help the government not profit but make money to invest more on research and development to fix this problem once and for all.
Okay, I've got two questions here in the chat, both from Dr. Lorenzo Carswell. The first one I'm going to put on the screen, so you're more than what you can answer this question. The first here, he says a cause and effect or a problem and a solution situation. Positive insight begets positive mindset, therefore positive results. Thanks for wanting to have an impact on many around the world. Well, that's a statement. Do you have any
Thank you.
anything you want to say to that?
Thank you, Dr. Lorenzo. That was such a beautiful statement. I appreciate it.
And his next thing here is AI, if used properly, can be a very effective tool to supplement the human intelligence.
Precisely, I agree with that statement very much. And I think this is what we need to do as individuals. Um, we don't need to wait for the government to governance or to build to make laws specifically made for AI. We need to, maybe because it's in the initial phase of AI, we can help guide it to AI for good. And a lot of organizations are starting to do that. But the problem with the companies that actually develop AI is the ones that needs to take the initiative to help with AI for good, to help with our biggest problems, our forest fires, California wildfires, for example. There's so many things that can be done as, uh, for example, China can, I mean, you can fly 3,000 drones with specific substances that will put the fires immediately so we don't lose humans during the ordeal. So this is going in this direction somehow, because even the developers of AI are starting to back off and they're starting to get scared. The problem is, of course, government and their influence on who uses it and for what.
Okay. He just clarified in the chat that those were just two statements, and he thanked you very much for your reply.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Um, Water scarcity, aging infrastructure, distribution inequities. These are enormous systemic problems. What is the realistic impact this system can have on a community? And can you paint us a picture of what life might look like for a town before your system and afterward?
Well, of course, water affects a lot of aspects of our life. One of the biggest aspects of our lives is agriculture. The food that we get, it needs water. Water shortage affects our crops. Uh, the What happened last year, I could see with my own eyes the effect of water shortage on our agriculture. There was less products with higher price, and people struggled with shortage of products, and of course, less usage of water. And I mean, things that we take for granted every day. Water should be always available to us. The government started to take very strict measures, like wash your car in your garage. You need to use one kit. It was very serious, and this is what this that was the fear, the terror that I felt, that we need to do something. And if I'm not going to wait for anyone to join me to do it. So the picture before, there was fear and there was worry. There was serious fear. Right now, a lot of people don't know about it, but they know that the government is working hard to fix that problem. People are a little bit um, um, they're starting to see the impact. And luckily, this year we got a lot of rain this winter that helped us increase our water reservoirs a little bit. But the predictions show that in the next 5 to 10 years, Cyprus is going to go through one of its worst droughts in history, probably by 2035 if we don't do anything right now. So we started to take initiative. The government started to take initiative. So people now are a little bit at peace with the alarm that was set, because um, everybody set the alarm right now. Uh, it's a problem that you cannot uh, postpone. It has to be worked on immediately, and the government started to take initiatives, and a lot of startups actually started to take initiatives. The thing is, what will really work, and what will really we need to find more innovative solutions, because we cannot rely on reservoirs. We cannot rely on we find alternatives than relying on source of water as well. And AI
Dr.
can help
Carswell
with
just
that for sure. AI can help with. Sorry, go ahead.
no. I was just gonna say he just put this in the chat here. I'll put it on the screen. He says they're implementing AI now at the college in which he teaches in regards to lesson planning, projects to improve college success. Can you tell me, do you think that's a plus or a minus?
I think it's a plus, and I've been recently hearing about European countries not allowing technology or computers or iPads or tablets in classrooms, and I disagree with this because it opens another it opens a lot of possibilities, and it opens a lot of ideas in people's brains. It opens a lot of it opens people minds in general. So I disagree with the countries that are trying to prohibit technology in classrooms. And part of my thesis argument during my master's, I remember I said something that my professors were quite shocked with, and because my thesis was about the digital economy in 2016, that the economy is being digitalized, everything is going to be digital. I mean, here we are 10 years later, we have AI. It's not only your bank mobile app anymore, it's AI, it's artificial intelligence. And I remember the point that I was discussing with my professors that was uh, we need to prepare our children to learn how hacking works, how programming works, because we have something called ethical hacking that should be taught in school. Programming should be taught in school from a young age, and ethical hacking should be taught from a young age because if you with the development and the progress of technology, hacking has become very easy and very frequent. So if you don't know how hackers work, how are you going to defend yourself against them? So this idea was very aggressively rejected because the word hacking is unethical, but there's ethical hacking. So of course, I support AI in schools, but with supervisions. There should be very specific models that are built for this specific uh, uh, field or purpose. So the models that we use right now, like Fable, the one that is was a threat for national security, that cannot be used in classrooms for, I mean, high schoolers or juniors, but it can be used in universities. But these companies should, I think it's going to elevate education into a more magnificent experience. But we still need books, of course. We still need our teachers. AI cannot replace teachers, and it should not. It should just be exposure to this technology, of course. And I still insist that programming, because kids are usually are smarter and more prone to observe information between the ages of 4 and 10, and this is this very critical age. This is when we teach them mathematics, algebra, we teach them science. We should also teach them binary code. We should teach them basics of coding and programming, and still nobody's talking about this at all.
Oh, so can you tell us what? There's another comment here from Dr. Carswell, and let me put it on the screen for you. He says the thing is, I upload my own intellectual property into Chat GPT with a personal assistant that memorizes all of my thoughts, ideologies, past works, the information produced by AI. Oh, wow. Then is my own and not plagiarized. Hmm. That's
Um,
interesting.
I did not understand what he means exactly, but if you think that the information that you ingested in AI is all yours, because AI is your AI, or your environment, your artificial intelligence environment is building itself on the memory that it has from your interactions with it, and it's not plagiarized, but you entered your own intellectual property. AI. There are ways around AI to manipulate intellectual property and do unethical things. And AI is AI is manipulative in a way. It's within itself. AI itself is manipulative. For a long time, we thought Claude was not complimenting us and was very straightforward with us. Unlike ChatGPT always agrees with you. Claude was not. But turns out that Claude was actually manipulating its users, and it was admitted by the CEO. So, in regards to intellectual property, some AI models are very respectful of it, and a lot of things are not plagiarized. But I would not bet my money on that, because there are things that I did with AI that I cannot talk about in public that is extremely unethical. But I was testing it, and I made sure that my data is not telemetred to the servers. But AI, especially in the testing phase, can do things that are extremely illegal and unethical. And plagiarizing would be my least worry about it.
So, where's the intelligent water management system today in terms of deployment, and where do you see it in 5 years? Are there specific regions or communities you are most eager to reach, places where this technology could make the most urgent difference?
So basically, the system is completely finished. The most important part was the code, because the programming language behind it was pretty sophisticated. It's a programming language called Elixir, Phoenix. So the user interface dashboard is done, and it's connected. It's connected with a satellite. It's connected with the everything that it needs to be connected to. It's already delivered to the government, but um, I'm still waiting on the government to review it. So it's going to take a while for them to study. So where I see it is, I see it that the more I look around, the more that I find. By the way, this project was delivered to the government free of charge. So this is not going. This is free of charge. This is what I meant was corporate social responsibility. That when you say CSR, you mean it. So that was built for free. And to tell you the truth, it did not cost me that much money. It just cost me time. And this is something I would like people to know, that there's so much available technology out there that's free that can solve serious problems. You just need to find it. So the system is built, the dashboard is built. It's very sophisticated in every manner. Every single piece of data you might need, the intelligence, the AI itself, because I built its own AI that will build itself based on the data that will come, and it will make predictions, and it will make correct prediction based on historical data for 35 years from the government. So this is what is left, is the government gives me access to some databases after they approve the project, but so far they are very welcoming. And right now I'm looking at the government of Spain, and later on I'm looking at the government of Malta and probably Italy.
So, before I move on here, here's one other thing here. Let me put this on the screen for you. Dr. Carswell says you have to make sure you still read it thoroughly, and he have found some errors, and he
Yeah.
thanks you for your feedback.
Oh, of course. Of course, there's always hallucinations. There's always errors. There's always what I call babysitting. I am babysitting AI. I mean, I built websites for the past 10 years of my life using WordPress. Right now, I'm building my own company website, and it should be easy. It should be done in 5, 10 minutes. It's taking me over 2 weeks because AI is hallucinating. And the more you use it, the more you realize that the more you chat in the same window, the more it hallucinate. If you close the window and start a new chat, it stops hallucinating for some reason. So there's a lot of problems. You have to. I mean, you cannot. Let me say, you cannot trust AI, even if you have the most sophisticated infrastructure you built for your own system. I have a system that I work on to code, and I have a lot of instructions. I have it overlooks a lot of instructions. It overlooks my prompts. It drives me crazy a lot of times, and most of the time. So AI still needs really hardcore babysitting all the time, even with the most advanced models right now.
So let's move ahead to heart, legacy, and your road ahead. Can you tell us, Ahmad? I always love asking this question because the answers reveal so much. At the end of a long day, a really long day, when
Yeah.
things haven't gone perfectly and the to-do list is still full, what is it that refuels you, and what is the thing that reminds you why you do this work?
The urgency of the situation, of course, this is number one. It's a problem that you cannot sleep at night comfortably knowing that there's a huge population that might run out of water if we don't do something. And not only me, I should also advocate for other people to actually, uh, come in. Let's work together. Let's do something that will help you and your family and your loved ones not struggle with water shortage. So number one is the urgency of the situation. Number two is um, um, I think for me it's my love for the technology that I'm discovering, the things that I'm discovering every day. It's my curiosity. So every day I sit down, I discover something new. So learning, uh, this is what keeps me going because, as I told you in the beginning, technology is being shipped like insanely every day. I think Anthropic shipped 52 products in just 1 month. So the more I run into cool new technology, the more I upgrade my business and upskill myself, and I have an advantage because also there's a lot of people like me right now sitting. They have access, they understood what the power of AI, and they're trying to do a lot of things with it. So it's also the fierce competition that we're about to endure, or we're already enduring. So and personally, I find that being busy psychologically is very therapeutical. So the busier I am, the less focused on anything around me. So it has therapy outcome. Let's say therapeutical outcome. So this is why I'm always obsessed with building things all the time because it's entertaining and it's therapeutical.
You're clearly a person driven by legacy, by the idea that the work you do will outlast you and serve people you may never meet. What do you want people to say about Ahmad 20 years from now? And what is the legacy you are consciously building?
That I did not want to. I want to change the idea that people do that to be kind of appraised. And the reason I wanted to, one of the reasons why I wanted to get rich is not to buy a Ferrari or spend, I don't know, buy a mansion somewhere. I wanted to show people that money does not change you. Money, because a lot of the wealthy people, if you see Elon Musk before and after, how he changed, how money changes them. I wanted to change that ideology because I hear all the time about Bill Gates donating billions of money, his wife donating billions of money. We still have starvations, we still have hunger, we still have illiteracy, we still have a lot of things that are, if these billions they're talking about were actually put in the right place with the right people, all our problems would have been solved. So this is something I want to actually achieve. And if I won't achieve it and I'll die and I won't achieve it, I want to be remembered for at least I try to change that narrative that multimillionaires or big business owners only care about profit. I want to change that because since I was born, I did not see any wealthy or famous celebrity businessman who actually made a huge impact on big communities. All I hear is donations, and we don't know where this money is going.
There are young technologists watching this right now, engineers, developers, designers, students who want to use their skills to make a difference but aren't sure where to start or whether their ideas are big enough to matter. What do you say to them? What is the one thing they need to hear today?
One word: open source technology. That's it. And um, it, I mean, you need to understand the terminology of things like we use right now, that codes that you don't need to be a software engineer, because I was very jealous of software engineers only 6 months ago because they were getting paid crazy amounts of money and getting a lot of amount of privilege. Right now, you can be a software developer in a couple of days, and you just need to be dedicated, persistent, and you want to upskill, because also it's very important that people start upskilling themselves, because if you don't know how to use technology and AI, the future is not looking great. So to start looking at open source technology that's available everywhere from big companies like NVIDIA. You might surprise yourself with the creativity that you have and the engineering that you had dormant in within you, and one keyword will trigger an insane idea in your head, and you will keep persistently uh, uh, going after it till you achieve it. And this is very possible right now. AI made a lot of things possible. For example, a lot of people will disagree with it. There is music AI music makers like Suno, like a software. A lot of people disagree with the software, and I feel like the software closed a lot of gaps because a lot of people didn't have access to music education or music instruments. Right now, you can make your own music and spread it and show it to the world. This is one thing about AI that I appreciate. Of course, people who have access to AI, because not everybody have that access. So the one thing that actually is part of my company philosophy is that if AI made it easy, we make it affordable. So for small and medium-sized businesses, we want to give them enterprise-grade technology for a very affordable price. It's just human labor, because most of the technology we're gonna use are open source. Because I cannot stress enough on how insane the open source technology that's available out there by the developer community, by NVIDIA itself. NVIDIA, if you go on NVIDIA developer program, you'll find a lot of open source technology or in testing phase. And of course, platforms like GitHub and Hugging Face, you will find incredible human beings who dedicated a lot of their time to build amazing technology to allow people to use it for free. And a lot of people still don't know about it.
So, final question for you. We've covered so much ground today: your journey, your mission, your technology, your heart. As we wrap up this conversation, I want to give you the floor completely. Is there something you've been wanting to say? Something you wish more people understood about the work you're doing or the world you're trying to build that you haven't had the chance to say yet? This is your moment, so you can just say it.
I just want to say that technology is becoming easier every day, and people need to start looking at technology from a different perspective. The intimidation that people have that I've seen is quite frightening. I saw it with people who are highly educated, but they are afraid of the terminology of the tools and the technology that's being shipped every day. And I think people need to um, um, uh, ignite their curiosity and just indulge themselves into technology, not just by researching on ChatGPT. Being prepared for the future is it's critical that you know how to use technology and how to become friends with it instead of fearing it and delaying the process of learning how to do things. And I think it's 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 part of our daily life every day. So the one thing I want to say is that technology has become a walk in the park, and you'll be surprised once you move that fear and just explore with an open mind and curiosity and a fearless approach. You'll be surprised of the personal skills and professional skills you will add, because I also always advise people on upskilling themselves right now, because the threat of being replaced by AI, you can outpace that threat right now. But explore without fear. It's easier than it sounds.
So, do you have some words of wisdom and encouragement for our audience? Tell them how they can connect with you via social media, your website, all of those good things.
My website is still under development because I'm very indecisive, so you might find it still under construction. But you can of course always, you're welcome to contact me through my LinkedIn page. It's a.eldisuki. It's the exact name that is on the screen, but a dot. Of course, I'm open to discussions. I'm open to ideas. I'm open to debates. I'm open to anything that has to do with, I mean, all aspects of life. Of course, I love talking with people always. So
Well,
words of wisdom will be just be persistent, keep pushing.
so, in closing, I have a closing monologue. I would love for you to stick around a few minutes after I close the show if you can.
Of course.
But for those of you that are watching and have stayed with us for the duration of the show, I appreciate your staying here and learning some things that Ahmed is doing, because the work he's doing is very, very important. And it's not just work that's impacting where he is, this is impacting the world. So I want to thank you guys for doing that. And also, for those of you that are watching on any of our YouTube channels, if you have not yet subscribed and enabled all notifications, I would ask if you would please support us by subscribing and enabling all notifications so that you're able to watch each and every show live. And you can go back and watch each and every episode that all of our great guests have done, have left some great work that's important and it's impacting everyone in their daily lives. So, in closing, there are conversations that you walk into as a host and you walk out as a different person. This was one of those conversations. Ahmad came onto this show today and did something that I think all of us needed to witness. He reminded us that the most powerful technology on the planet means absolutely nothing without the human heart behind it. He is building artificial intelligence that finds leaks in a water pipe, that saves water for a family in a town that can't afford to lose a single drop. Think about that. Think about the distance between a line of code and a child getting clean water, and then realize that one person, one vision, one relentless commitment to purpose bridges that distance. That is what we saw today. I want you to sit with something as you go about your day. Ahmad didn't just wait for someone to give him permission to change the world. He didn't wait for a government contract or a $1 billion investment. He started building. He started solving. He started asking the question, what if this technology could serve the people who need it most? And then he answered it himself. That is the kind of courage our world desperately is calling for right now, not just in technology, but in every field, every community, every corner of human life. We need more people who refuse to accept that this is just the way things are. We need more people like Ahmad. So here's my call to you, the person watching this right now. Think bigger. Think beyond your comfort zone, beyond your industry, beyond what has already been done. Ask yourself what problem you keep walking past that nobody is solving yet. Ask yourself what you have a skill, an idea, a passion, a connection that could be the beginning of something extraordinary. Because the world does not need you to be perfect. It just needs you to start, And if today's episode planted even one seed of that belief in your heart, then we have done exactly what this show was created to do. Ahmad, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for your time, your honesty, your vision, and your unshakable belief in a better world. You're the kind of guest that reminds me why I built this show, and I have no doubt that the world will know your name for a very long time. And to our beautiful audience, thank you for watching, for sharing, for showing up week after week for these conversations. We're just getting started. Stay tuned for what is coming next on CK Stories from the Heart, because the stories only keep getting better. Until next time, I'm Charles King. Keep your heart open, keep building, and keep believing that your story matters. God bless you all. Y'all have a great evening.